What up, YouTube? All right, so welcome in, y'all. This is builds at the end of an era. You guys know the drill. If you've seen the later videos, the other videos, you know what's up. This one's offline today, so because we are having a little bit of technical difficulties during the live streams, but yeah, let's hop right into it. So if you don't know what builds at the end of an era are, this is the build series that I decided to do. It's not build battles. It's not will it build or anything like that. This is builds that people from the community share within our Discord, and we try them out and try to play from their play styles. All right, so it's real simple. Submit one build a week. No cookie cutter meta builds, okay? Because we want to see some creativity. And those are the guidelines right there for what you need to submit. Just the name of the build, subclass, aspects, fragments, armor set, if applicable, the stat priority, the gameplay loop, the activity that you like to run, even though we're going to run a different one. And then it has to be submitted with either a dim link or a mobalytics link with a dim link included as well in that too. So without further ado, let's go check it out. We got our viewer, our most recent one for Hunter Week. Back up here for a second. Akira submitted a Solar Hunter build. Hopefully it's not that cookie cutter crack shot build that we've all been seeing around here. Hint, hint, wink, wink. If you know what I mean, sound off in the comments down below. All right. We know crack shot has been getting a lot of recognition lately, so go in and check it out. Like I said, got a little teaser of the build here. So I'm gonna hop over to the game itself. But a quick breakdown here. Kira says, for Kira's Solar Hunter build, any armor set will do, so there's no specifics there. I chose, funny enough, when I was digging through my inventory, I realized I had a full Netherrack set for my Hunter, unknowingly. So I decided to put that on and see how that fares. So if you don't know what this set does, the two-piece Final Blows versus subclass debuff targets have an escalating chance to spawn an orb of power. And then the four-piece Dream Devourer, performing a finisher versus a powerful combatant, grants Devour, and while you have Devour, you gain damage resistance versus combatants. Okay, thought that'd be interesting to pair with the Solar build, given that we get Cure and Restoration and all that kind of stuff too, and we don't have to feed too heavily into a solar grenade, specific solar grenade. Hint, hint, wink, wink. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I thought that would be pretty interesting. So I decided to go with that armor. The stat priority is super and melee, so we got our super cranked up to 205 here, and then we got our melee cranked up to 145. I'm gonna go in and adjust those mods in case we're overdoing it. We're spending my energy somewhere where we don't necessarily need it, i.e. that 5 points in super. And then the artifact is gonna be the Queen's Foil artifact. Okay, and he's running Heart of Flame, Torch. Heart of Flame gets casting your super grants nearby allies radiant and increase the damage of your super for each nearby ally. Torch, while radiant, deal increased damage to combatants affected by stranded stasis debuffs. Revitalizing blasting the champion causes it to ignite and clears your shield. Stun. Anti-champion nose cone, rocket launches deal increased damage to champions. Dragon's Bite, breaking your combatant's shield with a strand or stasis weapon, has a chance to suspend or freeze that combatant. Hailstorm, shattering frozen targets with stasis crystals. Frozen targets and stasis crystals, I'm sorry, deals increased damage. And shattering stasis crystals releases shards of ice that damage and slow targets. And Rays of Precision, while Radiant Solar Precision Final Blows cause combatants to ignite. So that's pretty cool. This is their choice here. We're gonna go in and see what kind of synergy it has and how it plays out. And let's look at the mod setup we got going on here. All this was submitted by them and we just added it in. I'll go back to the loadout in a second. So they chose to do all super mods, it looks like, on the first four pieces here. This could be due to whatever armor pieces they were running. Kira specifically told me in chat that they were only using the armor pieces that they had because of if they were Paragon pieces, and they were just trying to max out that super stat as much as they could, and followed by that melee. So on the helmet they have 2 hands-on, 1 kinetic siphon, and you'll see why in a minute. And then they're still boosting up their super with the a super mod. I'm gonna switch this one out immediately right here. I switch that to health because I would like some weapon if possible. Not really mattering right now, but if we can avoid it, we will keep that as reduced as possible. Not keep that reduced as possible, I'm sorry. We'll try to keep that as high as we can going along. The exotic of their choice is shards of Galanor, and and throwing knives. Final blows decrease the cooldown of your super. Hitting a single target with the most blade barrage knives and a volley causes them to release a violent super explosion, releasing scorch shrapnel. Hit your final blows with the blade barrage will return super energy after the super ends. So we're looking to get our super back constantly over and over again, is what I'm assuming that the loop is. So even on that piece, what do we have here? We can beef up. I'm gonna go with weapons, since we already have every stat that the priority needs. So I'm gonna boost this one up with weapons again. So weapons is getting a little tiny little edge. All right. Going down to the chest piece, super mod on that one as well. It's got melee damage resistance, unflinching kinetic aim, and harmonic resistance. So meaning for solar. So that's subclass. You can pretty much change these out to whatever you want. That's what they have. So I'll adjust as needed. And then I'm gonna add, as you know, weapons. Wherever I can, I'm gonna boost it up to whatever I can. So on the boots, we have interestingly enough, we have a grenade mod. Mostly because that's all we have here. Not really much else we can do here other than boot, but what's more reliant, grenade or that. So I guess we'll go with the grenade mod there to kind of keep that resistance down. He's got 4 solar surges on, so that's good to know there, which is interesting enough, and I'll go into that in a second. I'm going to play on that here. And then on our cloak, he's got a utility kickstart. When you use your class ability energy, it's suspended for your armor charges. It consumes the armor charges and get that class ability energy for each armor charge you have. All right, he's got a class font to boost up the class for some reason. Gonna swap that out because well, no, I'm gonna leave it there. That's what they have. Sure, they're just boosting up their class stat. And then they got a powerful attraction to pull in those orbs. So that orb session from the armor set that we got should work out pretty decent, right? They got the melee stat on here. That 5 really ain't doing too much for us, but we're gonna leave it there anyway, because it ain't really hurting nothing either. So going back across all of these, I don't see any problem with them. No, my armor's not masterwork because I just got this stuff and I don't have the funds. We're broke. These build videos are expensive, okay? Much like editing a video if I had an editor. I'm the one that's gonna be editing this joint, so there's that. Now, if you guys make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, boost up those numbers, we could probably get an editor that can afford to do it. But anyway, the little beta test inside of Duality. I like what I'm seeing so far, just a little bit, just a tad bit. Not quite sure where I see the synergy at, but yeah. I'm gonna put it back to the original setup because I started using something and I felt a little bit more potent, but we're gonna let it rock with their loadout. We tested it out in the first encounter of Duality, and it seemed like it was doing okay, but I had switched to a solar weapon for my secondary, right? Kind of like what I'm using right now. I would actually love to have an adaptive 600 that I know I got somewhere. I can't find one, can't think of one right now. So I'm not sure. The plus side to a lot of this is this. So I'm hoping this flourishes in a room like this, right? We come in here, we blow everybody the fuck up. Get some range going so I can get these kills, trigger curses. I ain't even hitting that guy. Can next to me though, not a good place. Don't throw grenades, please. We don't like grenades. Please leave me alone. I just went super. The add dense environments. Oh yeah, that's right. We got 2 barrier champions in the middle. That's gonna be fun. Where and what? I did nothing. Come out of here. Well, I defeated the champion. So I killed the champ. Killed 1 champ. Great. This guy with this fucking AR though. Wanna come over to the left a little bit? I'm dead. This one keeps blowing me up behind walls. What's something else? I like ringing now. I want a sniper or something. Maybe a fusion. What is that? The one up top? Oh god, I'm stuck. I can't stand this shit. These fuckers slide too much. Oh, I had nothing for him. Don't come down here. Okay, that got him out of the chair. Good. Hello, buddy. Are you finishable? Yes, you are. Come here. All right, Devour, let's go. Cool. There's a puppy somewhere. Crowded dogs. That's just what we need. Are you still up there? Yes. Can't stand it. Definitely think it'd be different loadout. Might want to grab an Aguilar's weapon. There we go now. Ooh. What we need is this. Why isn't this adaptive? Huh? Something hit me. Not another one. Nice blow up. Try something. Thank you. Something, and I don't like it. Something, and I definitely don't like it. Oh shit, what's up, guys? Didn't get a chance to use this shit yet. Didn't that shit be healing me? It is not. Just saying. I defeated 2 champions somehow. My guess is they came down. They went to the middle. Perfect. That's a crazy explosive. Yep, that is not a good spot. I can shoot those. Ouch. Why are you instigating? I hit nothing. Oh. No. Everybody spawning out of nowhere or something? No, I was just getting shot at. Oh, now they're here. There they are. I need y'all to get away from me. Man, if I had a strand build right now, I'd be right back up this bitch. I don't know how the barrier champions route themselves. This is good for me though, because I don't want him. He's not my problem. He's one of the problems. He's gonna come up here. No. Why are you here? Terrified. All right, I'm gonna stop it right here because I'm an hour in basically. It's not that I don't see there's a potential here because I don't want to be. I know I want to be hypercritical. Like I'm gonna be hypercritical to everybody. All right, Akira, don't take this to heart. But I'm gonna hit you with this. All right, because it feels like even the smallest thing of like no doesn't matter what armor set, right? I can roll in here with any armor set, right? So that being said, I decided to give it a try with this armor set. Now, it can still work with this armor set, but I think there's some other things in play that we're kind of not like paying attention to. Let me look at this setup real fast because like cracks knock them down. Your solar supers are enhanced. Barrage, more projectiles, all that stuff. Crack shot. Now, if I'm according to what I'm paying attention to, crack shot shoots 3 scorching shots at combatants you've marked at aim at targets to mark them. Landing all 3 shots cures you. Okay, so maybe I'm just not doing that part of it. Maybe I'm not doing that accurately because I felt like that should be curing me. Defeating scorched targets makes a fire sprite, which is decent. Picking up fire sprite is restoration. Ignite. Or final blows with super targets ignite, creating fire sprites, cool. And your solar super projectiles have stronger target acquisition. All right, cool. So this is all centered around getting the super, right? And you've told me this already. What I'm not feeling is one, I get bad juju is building up that super energy, which is great. It is. I have to focus kind of in on that. The other 2 weapons, I don't feel it, right? I don't see a need for these 2 weapons in particular, right? Because in all honesty, I want to rock this, right? That covers my anti-barrier in case I need it in some form. This covers my unstoppable, and then I have this slot here, which could be anything that I want. Granted, I kind of want something with solar, right? Even though this artifact trims around both solar and stasis, I want to lean more towards solar since I'm running a solar subclass, and I think my build is more catered to my super, right? So I don't think this blends very well. This artifact isn't really gartered towards my super for myself. You got Heart of Flame, which casting your super grants you nearby allies radiant and increases the damage of your super for each ally that you have. When I'm running solo, that's not helping me, so that's useless. If I go into, let's say, Fever and Chill, rapid precision hits with solar weapons grants radiant. Rapid precision hits with stasis weapons grants frost armor. If I had a stasis or a solar weapon, I could get this. This will be more of a benefit here. We got stuff like Armor Smith, where we're breaking shields. That'll probably be more of a benefit here. While your super is nearly fully charged, ability final blows grant orbs of power, right? That would be more of a benefit here. Or blast radius. Rapid final blows or rocket launchers or grenade launchers grant armor charge. right? I'm picking up that armor charge for utility kickstart. Boom, we're getting our crack shot back faster than normal, even at distances. So I'd play a little bit more around with that. Same thing with torching them. Torch is actually really good because you're good. Our solar weapons will get radiant, and or while we're radiant, our solar weapons get more damage and all that. And we got the solar surges. You have a solar surge on, rocking a kinetic, arc, and stasis weapon. This defeats the purpose there, right? So that's probably why I was like, yo, the Callus mini tool is slapping a little bit more than than it should be, but I mean, it should be slapping, right? So both these weapons will probably be prime time right here. And then that's covering all three of my bases for my anti-champions, right? Then we go on to we got nose cone and revitalizing blast. Sure, fine, cool, great. Everybody gets stunned and explodes. That's perfectly fine. This increases the damage of my rocket launcher. I don't have a rocket launcher anymore, so we kind of got to move away from that. Now, what do we have? We have a solar weapon in that slot. Do we have anything that'll apply anything there for it? No, not really. So we don't really have anything here that's working for us in the second tier, but what you could always do is go back to tier 1, throw in something that you do have. So while our super, if we didn't have one of these in our first slot, hey, let's go ahead and throw this on. Boom, kindling trigger. Radiant causes solar weapons to apply scorched to unscorched combatants, right? Now I'm leaning more into the solar fantasy, all right? And the fun fact, this is one of the artifacts that I don't see get used with solar a lot. So, or I haven't seen get used with solar a lot. I've seen the meta ones and the meta one, all right, for the solar precision and weapon damage with alongside of it, but I believe this is probably closer to that, right? So we're moving down the list. Dragon's Bite, suspend or freeze. We're not really doing that either, right? And I get that the rocket probably was, you probably have chill clip or something like that on there. Again, we're not heavily pushing into that too much, even if we were supposed to, right? It wasn't blending well. And again, you have solar surges on, nothing blending with that. So you got to take a look at that. So I'm going to move this around. Let's see what else we can do. We could do wished. I'm going to do more damage resistance. All right, we could do wished into being, but I feel like since I'm not getting melee kills or crack shot kills too often, or it doesn't feel like I can get those kills, I'm gonna roll into this a little bit more. Hail the storm. We're gonna take that off because again, we're not rolling in the stasis, we're rolling in the super here, in the solar here, right? So let's take a look at our options again. Like I said, we got wished into being. We could hold on to that. We got fever and chill, which we're gonna probably pull that in here in a second. But let's look at our final column here. Boom. What do I have? That's for strand. That's for stasis. That's for just rockets. That's for just precision and solo operative when I'm by myself, right? Well, while you're only fire team member, precision final blows increase weapon damage until you're defeated. Huh? I'm by myself. That might be a good piece there, right? So boom. Remember what I said about throwing in fever and chill? So the torch doesn't work with us. Boom, we got fever and chill up there. So I think this right here might flow a little bit better than what you had before. All right. Now I know you said you take this into Shattered Throne. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Shattered Throne is one of the normal dungeons. Okay, and what do I mean by that? When you go to an activity in the game, you select it. If it doesn't have a master mode, and I'm not saying you have to play master mode, if it doesn't have a master mode, that difficulty level of said dungeon is lower than the rest. Okay, and I'm sorry to say it, Shattered Throne is lower than the rest. Okay, even if they all say power cap 300, 350, that kind of stuff, it's still a lower tier dungeon, right? Went in duality for a reason, because I wanted to see how it could keep up on that boss, even with that time limit. The only thing killing me in that first encounter is that time limit. That's my fault. I got to manage my time better. Now, it definitely could put in some work on that boss. I could definitely see it if you had the synergy killing everything in that room with those particular weapons and with that loadout and the artifact mod helping boost you along. you did have some key things in there helping boost you along. Okay, I'm gonna take another step and look at the armor and mods. Armor and mods don't matter. I will agree with you there, 100%. The thing I'm not feeling right now, because again, shards will give it extra damage, and the energy back, right? Not really getting that energy back from shards. I'm getting that energy from bad juju, right? So this is more catered to something single target, right? So if I'm rolling around in a group and I'm trying to kill a whole group, ideally I want to be throwing out my abilities and using my weapons a little bit more, getting that explosions, all that stuff going, rally it up, right? Let's say I do use something with a 2-piece, 4-piece set. There's a reason I picked this one in particular, because it doesn't sound like you're doing anything of that crazy. So if it did come down to you having to do a finisher, little devour and extra damage resist ain't gonna hurt nothing, right? Cool. And I thought it would be kind of cool to try to see that, see that on the side of a Cure solar build, you know. So, I'm gonna roll back into Proving Grounds, because it's not that it was taking me too long. I could feel it working. It was just some things just was, I gotta back up. I gotta back up. I gotta back up. So we're gonna roll back in there and see how that does. So I'm gonna jump into another one. Okay. Oh my god. This is me. This is me. This is totally me. Alright. I forgot about that other thingy over there. Let's go kill this fucking turret. Forgot about the turret. He's not helping the situation either. That guy was aiming at me with... I'm getting hit by some cold shit, but like I don't know if it's just somebody aiming at me or what. Oh shit. Out that hole. Alright, now we can kind of address this guy. I'm running this way, big fella. Cool. Okay. All right, that'll melt. Far away. Don't worry though, we gonna get him. Jolt is your friend for these fuckers in the tank, little baby tanks. Get right the fuck out of here. We only killed one. Who's next to me? All right, we got a little. There we go. Now we see it kicking in. Now look at, I got half my super bar back. Right? Holy fuck! I got heals down there. Oh no 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 no! Got him out of that interceptor. Cool. Crack shot's cool, but I wouldn't rely on it. Got that off before the kill. Okay, who's about to have super again, so one of those tanks are gonna go down immediately. Faster. See, we've already done this room a lot, 10 times faster. This fucker, man, I can't stand these bitches. Get shot. Get electrocuted. Let me shoot for this one. Thanks, gone. Somebody's in that bitch. This motherfucker came sliding over here. Go home, Roger. Look at that super. Look how much we got back. Ooh, good snipe. Good snipe. Good snipe. I was lagging. I knew I shouldn't have been there. But yeah, look, room's damn near cleared the fuck out, right? Hooked them up. Now I got a boy up top. Cool, I got a super here. Tank is dead. Sion's been dead. I don't know why. He was beaming at me the way he was. I got one. Who I got? You? Cool. Explosions go off. Oh, I wanted to switch. Powerful dude. Dead. Sure. Oh. I didn't know you did that. Did he die? Oh, well, that worked out for me. Haha. Had to. He would have came back and I would have been dealing with him for a hot minute. Oh god, I'm dead here. Chill touch, man. Chill. Interesting. Can't even touch yet. Ah, I killed your friend. I don't have anything. Oh, I wasted a shot? That's crazy. Oh well. Bye. Hey, return to exotic Ingram. Cool.
We lost our world to the Hive. Why will you not stand with us? Roll through an Imperial tank, fighting against an army.
Are there? Yes. I was about to say, are there rapid fire, or not rapid fire? Well, no. Are there rapid fire energy fusion? Definitely do think super melee class ability would probably be a better option for this, since you're trying to do something cool here. Cool. Gradient. Sir. Reload this. It's not the place. Too far forward. In the back. You can hit me through there too. Ah! Cheeky bastard. All right, we gotta pop super at this guy too. Let's just wait for it. That guy's dead. Okay. No. Of all the things to be a Medusa. No ammo? Oh, sir. First. Holy shit. Thank you. Psych. Stop chasing me. At least that hard. Who's here? Oh God. Yeah. Come on. Come to the edge. The oven's on. Oh, you're the one. Give me. Cool. That was fun. Move! Not even near you. Oh. Oh shit, there's two of them. Also forgot I had that. You do the thing. There you go. Come on down. You're the next contestant in the Blades of Barrage. No death? He dead. The mind is willing, but the body wasn't ready. All right. So two things. Akira got right. Armor, or to me, that felt good within his build. Doesn't matter what armor set I use, could be anything, right? So there's tons of 2-piece, 4-piece, 2-piece, 2-piece, 4-piece sets that would work well with this no matter what, right? I know the build that's out there in the world that people are trying to do, where you are crack shooting in Blade Barrage, crack shooting Blade Barrage. I hope that's not the case here. If that is what you're attempting to do, you got to get that class ability up. And I'm gonna back up a little bit and say this. Depending on what you're trying to run, okay, you gotta pay attention to your stats, and it's not just about beefing up just the one. Yes, this will add to the super damage, but if you don't have flow and synergy for everything else, then there's kind of no point to it other than get to your super as fast as you can, right? And you need to then tunnel into one option or the other. So the one option here, or the two options here that kind of funnel into each other, and it's just a one track thing, is you need Bad Juju and you need Shards of Galanor. Now I'm gonna say Shards of Galanor can stay because it's a part of the build, right? Part of the subclass part. The loadout, always a touchy subject for me. I don't think you need Bad Juju here, other than to beef it up. Other than to gain that super energy from using a kinetic weapon. I think you could go somewhere else with it, right? And still build up your super energy. You have tons of options up here, not just hands-on. Now, I might be doing something wrong here because 140 melee wasn't doing enough for me to get my melee back. Toss the melee out a couple times, whether they be weak or not, I'm still not getting it back. That's just me, all right? If I was gonna do something different there, I wouldn't even really be using Crack Shot. I'd be using Gambler's Dodge to get that melee back. Why? I'm focused more on getting my super back, right? So, yeah, sure, I get cured off of this, but I have tons of other options that I can get cured of. The Solar Grenade, same thing. I could use any other grenade here. I can use the Healing Grenade as my primary healing focus, right? On top of the fact that I have Restoration, Cure, and all that stuff going on too for being in the Solar subclass. Everything you set for your Solar subclass is catered around the super acquisition, the or getting super, right? Fire sprites, and getting that energy back for your super. That's pretty much it. And mostly the ignites too. You're beefing up your Solar with the surges over here. That's the other part of it, synergizing down that lane. So what did I choose to do? Throw your shit in the trash. Okay, only because I think you focus too much on getting 200 super and 140 melee for nothing. There's nothing in this that's cohesively making you get back your melee ability or your class ability so that it can sustain you throughout. Now, are you getting the kills? Yes. Are you getting the stacks from String of Curses? Yes. Are you getting that extra damage for that? Yes. Are you getting super energy back? Yes. Cool. What's the point of my other weapons? I don't need my other weapons then at that point. I don't need any other weapon in this loadout for that, right? So if I wanted to hunker down on this completely, I would have switched Solar to kinetic. That's the first thing. Outside of that, it still was a pretty good build. What I chose to do with your setup, I kept everything that you had on there, except as far as mods go, I kept everything except for like the little iffy mods here where they give you a little bit of stat distribution here and there, because the extra stat and the extra stat past 200 doesn't matter. The extra stat past a tenth. So when I say a tenth, 140, 130, 120, those make differences. Those gaps make differences. 125 makes no difference. It's like a 1%, and it's not really helping you even to that extent. It's barely 1% at that. So not necessarily there. Didn't have to waste those stats. Can move them around if you could. If you had other stat rolls on other things, right? I would have probably gone class, melee super class. Why? Because I want Crack Shot to be up there and get my class ability back as fast as possible. The only other change that I did to you to make this feel a little bit more fluid and smooth was I swapped out, what did you have here? You had a class font mod here for distribution. That made my class ability come back a lot faster. On top of the fact that I had utility kickstart, on top of the fact that I did have something that was giving me the armor charge, right? So that I could always do it if need be. But that's if I decided to use, expend it. right? Now, here's where this kind of defeats the purpose of one or the other. If you're going to focus on getting your class ability back, you don't use surges. If you're going to focus on doing more damage with a weapon type, use surges. Don't use utilities. Mainly the utility kickstart, grenade kickstart, melee kickstart, any of those. Don't use those. Why? Blue font mods cancel out yellow font mods and vice versa, right? Why? Because when the yellow font mods, you can have as much, you pick up as much armor charge as you want. You keep it forever until you expend it. There's no time limit. Surges, on the other hand, count down and you lose them. But you need the surges. If you have 3 surges on, you need that max time, right? To get that damage bonus. And when you use a kickstart, what does it do when you have the stacks or any surges at all? Completely wipes them out. So you're just negating all that extra damage that you're getting. So you having this and this counteracts that. That happened many a times while I was running through. And I kept it on purpose to show you what was happening. Okay. I don't know if you could catch the interims where it was happening. Like, hey, yo, I need heals here. What was I relying on heals? Devour from the armor set, a fire sprite, an orb. All those things was still helping towards me getting my health back, right? So that's that. The second part was the loadout. Again, you didn't need the whatchamacallit, you didn't need the rocket launcher. Now I get that you had the artifact mods, and let's roll into the artifact. I know that you had those set on your artifact. They didn't synergize because there was nothing in that portion of it. Hey, I'm shooting a rocket, like I'm getting heavy ammo back non-stop. No, you're not. Even with ammo generation, you chose to not go to delve into it at all with any of the mods. So that kind of negated that. So you weren't getting any rocket ammo, right? Or I can't tell if you were getting rocket ammo. You might have been getting it in a lower form of activity, right? And that's another piece of it. These builds are amazing. And you guys are playing like the lower tier content. And I'm showing you, yo, it could be used in the higher tier stuff, right? So this one is to give you confidence too, to go solo some higher tier stuff, right? Now I know I'm capping myself at Grandmaster. Why? Because I need to kind of make these videos a little smaller. So shorter. Going through the footage, taking an hour to do an activity. 30 minutes is slightly okay, but any longer than that, I'm just frustrated. And I don't feel like doing it. So anyway, there was a lot of stuff that didn't sit right with me from the build initially. I had to go in and change a lot of things. Otherwise, the concept and the idea behind it actually was really good. I didn't necessarily need raised precision, but the fact that I switched to they kept it, and I switched to a linear fusion for this specifically. Why? Because if I'm gonna hit their crit spots with a adaptive burst, I'm gonna hit their crit spots and get that extra ignite. You know what I mean? And that helps towards breaking their shield. It counts as breaking their shield and stunning a champion. Worked out in both suits, right? So, and you saw the extra damage pop that they were getting. So I was tapping the barrier champions, and they were almost chunked down to nothing, right? Where I didn't really even have to reload and get them again. That, or I use a super regen, perfect. Can't complain about it, right? You did everything right there for that. The super damage, you did everything right there. You got your super stat to 200. The melee stat, kind of useless. Again, I wasn't getting that back like I think I should from how you have it in here. I got 140 melee. That should be coming back pretty often. Crack shot was not doing it. It helped in some cases, like if there was nothing around me, cool. But if I was like super surrounded, not really doing it for me. Like there's not enough time for me to mark targets in that difficulty. Lower difficulty probably works out a lot better because things are a lot weaker. You're smacking them and they're falling down. This is not to say that anything about you playing a lower difficulty activity. I don't care that you're playing a low difficulty activity. That's cool. That's what you want to do. What I'm going to do when I showcase y'all stuff is I'm going to play a higher difficulty activity. Why? Because I want to show y'all how badass these builds are that y'all coming up with. Y'all have some good ideas. Okay. That being said, off the initial rip, this build was ass. But after changing some things around, I liked it. All right, would I use it again? Absolutely, because it was a fun loop to try to get going. Um, Obviously, like I said, some things that I would change. I would definitely change the gun loadout. You don't necessarily need bad juju to get your energy back, fam. There's plenty of other ways that you can do it. Always, and I say always, I'm gonna say always try to feed into these 3 mods, because you never know what activity you're gonna be able to roll into, and you might still want to roll with this, right? This will be a little bit healthier for you to roll with that. Always try to fall in line with getting the anti-champion mods. All right. For your artifact, whether you're new, returning, or you're a vet, guys, always remember the synergy within these artifacts plays a huge part in a build if you're only going to rely on focusing on getting a specific stat to a specific point, or a specific gun type, or a specific damage type. Okay, if you're leaning into solar, lean into that solar part. Make sure that every mod on the artifact is helping you out with your solar abilities, with your solar weapons. Okay, if you're leaning towards stasis, lean into that stasis. Make sure everything you're doing is stasis related. Make sure your loadout is stasis related. Make sure the energy recharge is going to come from stasis related things. Okay, and if that was the idea with the rocket, it wasn't gonna work out for me. But like, I don't even see how. I understand that you would create crystals if you would get those kills, but you got to be, the swarms got to be there, man. And not all the time are you going to be able to knock them down and get those crystals, unless you're doing a lower activity. And we want to try to carry this on throughout everything we do. Why? Because we playing across the board in this entire game, whether it's a hard activity or easy activity. I want the build to be something I can jump into and have fun with no matter where I go. Right? Nothing. That's same for y'all. Okay. Otherwise, good attempt, fam. Good attempt. Good attempt. Good attempt. I like the build. This build will be super crazy if you find an armor set that you like to synergize with it, and then if you could get the stat distribution flipped around a little bit, that or change the aspects. I'ma highly suggest. I know crack shoot is very popular right now. I'm going to suggest something away from it, because you got knock them down and we know what that's for. I'm gonna definitely suggest either using gamble or on your mark, right? Reason being, this will beef up your weapon stat. Final blows will at 10 stats cure you, right? So you'll get healed off of this too. This is just for you blowing up shit and then looking cool. All right. Will I ever suggest that you take off your shards of Galanor? Nah, fam. That was actually a good choice that you made. I like it. Good setup here. Again, any swap outs on the mods that I would say do, definitely. Again, I kept this in here for you. Definitely recommend flipping this around. Like, you can either go time dilation to extend your armor charges, which I highly recommend, or outreach, since you're working with melee right now and that might be your focus. Boom, use that, or go Reaper. These options, the yellow options, try to stray away from them if you're going to be using surges, because it just defeats the purpose. You're going to knock away all your damage from your weapons that are potentially probably helping you out along the way. So I would definitely do that. Now, if you're going to completely negate surges and you want to get that class ability back without having to go for that class stat just yet, or while you're working towards that class stat, always remember Absolution, Orbs of Restoration, and Installation are 3 options that you could roll with. Okay, that will speed up the process of you getting that class ability back without even having to worry about where the stat is. All right, that's another thing people forget about, is that these stat mods, the stats help, but it's not the end all be all. Remember, you still got armor mods that'll definitely help counteract whether or not you get an ability back super fast too. Same thing with your super. You can get your super back without having to use bad juju. All you got to do is adjust something up here. All right, if you're using weapons primarily, boom, siphon, I get that back, or I roll with dynamo. What? Using my class ability? Okay, I get that back from that. Oh, wait, but grenades. I get my energy back from grenades. Oh, I got too many options here to get that class ability, class energy back. The only other plus side here is that you don't have to use a font, right? So I'm gonna say roll into the deep with it. Orbs will give you your super from any weapon type. Roll into that more than you need to do this. It helps here and there, but unless there's a rolling melee, I don't know what to tell you, fam. All right. Your submission was great. Little bit on the light side for the gameplay loop. I think there was a lot more involved here. It's just saying shoot stuff with Juju, shoot stuff with whatchamacallit, boss DPS, melee grenades, and cold front. Wasn't really it, man. Plus cold front, rocket launchers, gotta dodge. If you got moving bosses, a little harder there, but the concept was great. Thought it was a decent build. It was even better until I changed some things around. This build was fuck all before that. Anyway, thanks for submitting the build, Akira. I appreciate you, fam. Hopefully everybody who watched enjoyed it, liked it. If you guys got any suggestions for Akira, you can leave them down in the comment section below, or come join the community, join my Discord. Link is in the description down below as well. Come and submit your own build. If you got some suggestions, that means you got some builds that you want to submit. So come do that. Otherwise, I'll catch y'all in the next video.
Eververse trades in goods we feel enhance a Guardian's journey.